Okay, so round 1, going to 2 random features. On the left hand side you got Michael. He's busy sorting out his Danger BA, as we know and love. The deck that was infinitely known, well, the Danger part at least, was infinitely known for an FTK with Firewall Dragon.
Yeah. Oh, Firewall is no longer.
Yeah, Firewall is no longer.
He's no longer with us.
So we'll see what he does. We're probably just going to turn into Borrow Sword Turbo as usual, as OTK your opponent. But will he be able to OTK through Yarick's True Draco stun?
Oh yeah, the floodgates are coming.
The floodgate.deck. Basically, the reason this deck is now viable again is because
Stormforth is a 3 again.
Stormforth is a 3, and seeing that Rivalry of the Warlords and Gozen Match are now a very big deal. Gozen Match we could call them obviously, but
really
but Rivalry of the Warlords
disruptive.
having so many different things to stop now. With it being type-based, you can only control one type. The True Dracos obviously all being worms. Obviously, Mano Iwato would be turned off as the thing here. Just pretty much, I don't know why they're thanking each other here. No clue.
I think he was just helping him shuffle.
Probably just helping him shuffle. It's nice for the players to see a decent mutual respect between the two players. But yes, as we know, True Draco just being the draw engine of a deck, and then
I would just observe only 9 monsters in the main deck.
Nine monsters in the main deck. The rest is basically
2 of them not even like an actual Draco.
Being part of the actual.
They're just a Wato, which turns off monster effects. It's like a
hand traps.
Oh, hand traps.
That's pretty much why they play it.
Fair enough.
No Ash Blossom. Obviously, Ash Blossom if it stops it.
So it negates monsters in all zones.
No, just in general. Just
okay,
no monster
sure.
effects can be activated.
Fair enough. So it's like a face-up skill drain.
Pretty much.
Sure. And it pops at the end of turn.
No, bounces to hand.
Okay.
And the reason they play it instead of like something of Inspector Board or whatever. Obviously, first off, they can play Inspector Board as far as I know. But in Mono Water, is a constant that your opponent cannot kill it.
Yeah, fair enough.
That you use the Miser's effect to ditch your hand first, and then you get in Mono Water.
And you play the Wato, and then you're basically safe from hand traps for that turn. It's essentially like instant fusion into Eyes Restrict, but you know, on a monster. It's just for that effect.
It's pretty good. The fact that it just says no to your opponent. Just in general, and you can even just leave it there if you can play defended, because you can flip skill drain and just leave it.
Yeah, sure. When you've got a skill drain up, then its effects go away. And I believe once you've passed that first end of turn, if the skill drain gets removed somehow, its effects come back. But because it wasn't summoned that turn, it actually remains for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it just remains face of the game because it's only the turn it was summoned that any spirit monster bounces back to the hand.
Okay, well, it looks like these guys are preparing. I can't really read what that is.
So 5 cards from each player. Obviously, I think, as we'll see now, is if Yarick or Michael comes. Okay, so
looking at over here.
I see a drawn Lockbird on the danger side.
Okay, that is disgusting. Let's not use this view right now.
Okay, so Yarick is going first. He sets 5 cards and cards it demises it, straight getting him a +3 because he has no cards in hand. Obviously, having to ditch his hand in the end phase. But
I'm sure he'll find a way to use them. That's another card of demise that he's drawn into.
Yes, he did. So that's probably just going to be sets again. I know, obviously, having the field spell set there, we know it's a diagram. No other option out of that. Obviously, with him playing. What do you call
Interesting
it?
that it's face down.
What would really be card of demise because you don't activate it.
Sure.
I think maybe he's just trying to bait him out. I don't know why. He got no monsters. So obviously he's not going to be doing much this turn. But I did see 2 Rivalry of the Warlords and
anti-spell fragrance.
Obviously that's not really going to damage Michael too much, but him having a Sekka's Light in his hand over there.
It's the one spell the deck does play, and it's their source of card advantage or card selection, right? It's just a plus, right?
It's just a
+1.
It's a pot of greed essentially. And then obviously you can banish it from grave to shuffle a monster from your deck to the hand. So
it's got a little bit of extra utility after that.
Shuffle away and see if you can get like that extra hand trap if you need it. Obviously with Michael having a drawn Lockbird, which means if he does go into his draw power, he's going to be crippled very heavily. So 2 Disciples and a card of Demise Grave. Disciples being the one that basically you shuffle 3 from the grave back into the deck and then drawing you the 1 card. And obviously, as we know, every True Draco card, despite a trap at least, when they leave the field, they pop a card just for free. Because why not? Destruction being a thing.
Okay, it looks like Michael's about to make a decision. That is a tour guide. Okay.
Straight into the tour guide. Is it going to be stopped? Is the question. Obviously, being a free Dante for Danger VA, the mole's coming out.
Relatively.
So it does resolve it. Looks like he wants to resolve it. Going to a Fiendish Rhino. Its effects, however, is negated. But when it gets
Warrior's a level 4 though.
No, he's a level 3.
Okay, sure.
Basically,
in the graveyard, however, you can banish it to send a fiend.
No, if it just goes to the grave in general, you just mull a card from the...
If this card is sent to the graveyard. So the effect triggers in the graveyard,
Yes.
so Tour Guide's ability is not going to affect it there.
Yeah, also the thing is he's probably going to overlay into Dante now.
Okay, sure, and then it doesn't matter because it's no longer the same instance of the card. So that's fine.
Yeah,
so we make a Dante,
into Dante and
detach Fiendish Rhino Warrior to Mull 3.
Dante is back at it again. Meta for 3 years now going? 3 years going.
Dodging that ban list like a ninja.
So milling a Gallus, a Meme, and a Tachi Sanoko Danger. And then obviously...
nobody knows how to pronounce that card. Is Snake, right?
Snake.
Yeah, sure.
Snake. So he does use the Fiendish Rhino now to mull 1 extra card.
Sure.
No response from Yarick, which is rather interesting. But I think he's waiting for an extra type to hit the board before he flips that rivalry. Obviously, getting the most advantage. But the thing is...
Okay, looks like he's got a response.
He does have a response. He flips rivalry straight up the gate.
Okay, sure. Just to make sure that his opponent's thinking a little bit harder about what he's doing.
So pretty much Dante is remaining on the field unless he can link it away now.
Yeah.
To his own advantage. Because that's Dante being a warrior. Danger's obviously not a single one being a warrior. And then obviously all the BAs being fiends.
Fiends, yeah.
So kind of stops him. Maybe if Michael gets away out of this, I'll be very interested to see it. But the only
this is a pretty tough spot for him to be in at this point.
It's a very tough spot because now he's got Dante.
He does have a battle phase. I think he's swinging. He's swinging with the Dante, so that's 2,500.
2,500 off of Yarick.
Puts him to 5,500.
Yes. 5,500. So Dante going, if he ends the battle phase now, goes straight into defense mode. Basically just, there we go.
Well, that's what he does.
Twice, yeah. That's just such a good card, such a phenomenally good card.
Yeah.
If you can make level 3s in any mold deck, it pretty much just solidifies the fact that you can keep milling. You play him in Lightsworn, you play him almost in anything that just wants stuff from the grave.
And it's got a very generic float ability. Just any BA.
Just get it back to the hand.
Sorry guys.
Connection there.
Let's see if we can get that back.
There we go. Going to the hand view. So obviously rivalry being set, and I do believe it's Yarick's turn again. So rivalry and anti-spell being on board now. Yarick seems to be having... It's a spell in his hand. I don't know which spell, however. He flips the second card of the mice. He's going to draw 2 though. He's revealing. He's giving information to his opponent. Might be a big mistake there. So he drew he's got 2 diagrams now and a disciples.
I didn't see what he revealed there.
He revealed the diagram to him, but however he did have another diagram. So he activated the domain just to put the diagram face down.
Okay, I understand.
And then he discards his entire hand now because I carded the mice.
Sure. You're not finding any monsters though. 0 threats on board. But that's what you get. There's only 9 of them.
Pretty much. He's going to keep poking.
Dante back in attack position.
Back in attack. Obviously, you get him detached. Mull 3, get that 2,500 in again probably. He's playing a Frightful Saber, which is interesting.
Yeah, I've noticed. I think there's 2 in his and an Edgem Saber.
Edgem Saber. I wonder
it's the Frightful card. I don't see anything in his extra deck that makes that relevant.
I think it might just be a free special summon because I was talking to Mike earlier, and he says he just loves the free special summons that the deck gives him.
Okay, yeah, so it's just an extra body.
Probably just wants extra body, I assume. Or maybe it is a fiend. I don't even know if it's a fiend.
Yes, it is. It is a fiend.
If it's a fiend, then it helps even more the deck. So he
so we got a 2,500 Dante.
2,500 Dante on the board. A Calcab.
Maybe he just keeps poking with it. I mean,
it's a good strategy.
He's big enough.
He's got no draw power left. Because he's not seeing any true Draco cards. At this point, if I were Yarick, I'd probably try and pop my own back row just to get to a monster with diagram, if anything. However, he's got diagram now, and he doesn't want to reveal the diagram. Okay, so Dante's attacking for 2,500, as we can see. Which is
ouch! Down to 3,000.
3,000, which is a nice little thing that Yarick then goes down to. So Yarick's turn, flips the diagram finally. Finally reveals the diagram.
It's time to start destroying some things.
So he's going to destroy a card to pop probably the Dante or the back row, which we know is probably the Sekka's Light. Sekka's Light obviously being absolutely useless. He's popping the anti-spell because he knows what he's going up against.
Yeah.
So obviously...
okay, well, Sekka's Light is live now.
That is live now, however, but he did set it, but he got what he accomplished for the Sekka's Light to be set, so there's no point whatsoever.
Still the rivalry being a little bit of a problem
rivalry
for
absolutely
Michael,
would cripple this deck.
I mean, the Dante is only at 1,000 now. There's no way he can get any more attack out of that.
But Yarick seems to be making his offense now, so he might probably
okay, he's found a monster.
Yeah, he found a monster with the diagram. So he's probably going to try and get rid of the Dante now, trying to assert his control over, seeing as he controlled the game for 2 turns. He had to take that damage. So if he has a solemn warning now, he'll probably kill himself, but he...
No, that would be a terrible idea. Unless he can absolutely deal with the Dante and like lock this game down now, I don't think a warning would be a great idea.
He does remove the Dante that he will be giving his opponent the ability
a BA, floating a BA from the graveyard.
Look at the hand advantage. You cannot tell me you do not suspect anything of a danger in that hand.
Oh yeah, obviously. No, definitely.
Yarick's perspective. So flipping over the, I think that's the...
If he knows anything about what he's playing against, he's just there's probably a danger or 2 floating around in there. So
just a danger or 2. So the card's being shuffled in and he draws a card. Obviously the Heritage just being so much pluses. So he draws into another Majesty Maiden. No card of demise, so he's going to keep his hand advantage this turn, which is nice. Finally.
How did he end up with a card in hand previous turn?
He drew for turn, obviously. And then Diagram, obviously, is just the 3-pop, the anti-spell, and just get your true Draco. So he knows he's got control. I don't think Yarick was going to attack this turn. He's going to try and just make sure that the BAs do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I mean, Dante is no threat when he doesn't have material underneath it. So if he can just pop out a couple more worms, there we go. There's another one.
Easy as that. And as soon as Michael tries to activate an effect, we know Majesty Maidens are both trigger and just get free advantage. Just I think summoning monsters, I believe. Might stand corrected. Oh, actually getting spells. Gets the spells from the deck. The
okay,
spells,
sure.
Which is not as good as Dynamos, the water one. Or I think Dino
the
Fighter.
Placios. Sure.
Not the archetype, the true Draco guy, because he activates the spell straight.
The Dino Fighter.
Dino Fighter.
Yeah, we do have the deck list over here, so we can.
Dynamite Knight. There we go. Just allowing him
true
to set
Draco
the traps.
Fighter.
Yeah, the true Draco Fighter, allowing him just to purely set.
So Maiden searches the spells, and Draco Fighter is for the traps.
Yes.
Okay.
And he is only at 1,
understand.
so which is good because he got banned at 1 point. Obviously, being able to activate the trap straight from the deck is just bonkers. So he does decide to run over the Dante. Obviously, Dante's going to float, getting back the Calcab, I believe, back to his hand. Obviously, he's going to summon that next turn and try and get it off the field just to bounce it back. That's the best he can do. But if Michael decides to activate any monster effect now...
and we've lost the feed.
We lost the feed again. If Michael decides to activate any monster effect, those double Majesty Maidens are just going to trigger. And he's got 2 zones for it, so he's going to get pure advantage out of it. No...
Bit of a precarious life total though, but I think he's got sufficient. How big is the Majesty?
Maidens, I think, are 2/3, but Diagrams on field, so they get 300 extra attacks.
Okay.
So 2/6 each.
So he's just hit for 2,600 after getting rid of the Dante.
Pretty much, yes. 2,600 is hit for. Oh yeah, I should probably keep that in mind. 2,600
so
going down to
5,700. 5,400.
5,400. So he activates Brough from hand. He flips activating Majesty Maiden to get a Dynamite to hand, or special summon. We'll see now what happens. I might be mistaken on this. I like how Yarick is just chilling with the earphone in his ear. He's completely not focusing. So Majesty Maiden gets the monster to hand. So Graf and Calcab being overlaid. Oh, they're being linked away now into the Phoenix. He's trying to get rid of that rivalry, which I was predicting earlier.
This is definitely target, discard, pop.
Discard, but he discards any danger, and obviously they're going to.
Oh, because of the discard effect. Okay, so the danger is going to activate a new chain, but that rivalry needs to go.
He gets a whole big chain.
To Nessie. Okay.
Yeah. He's going to use Calcab to bounce the right.
Oh, this is something right here. It's got 3 effects waiting to go off. So he's got a pop. I think Nessie's got a card draw. Or both.
Nessie gives the effective search when discarded.
Okay, sure.
So
to find another danger.
We're going to get that Jackalope. Because I see a Snake in his hand there.
Oh, so fair enough. Snake is the hard draw. So
the Jackalope being obviously good level 3s. However, he's going to have to first get rid of the Phoenix because it does not point down.
It's usually used as part of the extra link. Which I think, he's got the ability to make in this deck.
I think he might have actually the ability to go into Borrelsword, drag in this game, and maybe hit through OTK.
Yeah.
However, another rivalry was flipped.
Oh snap! Yarick had another one set. That's all that work.
Now he's got a Phoenix.
Right back to square one.
A rivalry being flipped, and like I said, the Jackalope being searched because of the Snick being in hand. But another rivalry obviously going to cripple him still. He still has to deal with this rivalry now, and I feel like that's all the back row removal that Michael has for game 1.
Yeah.
I don't think this deck has a lot of back row. Obviously for Kelcap being a thing, but obviously being face up, you can't bounce with a Kelcap because it can only target set.
Michael does have a whole lot of cards in hand though. I'm not certain. I think there's 3 or 4, but Yarick's managed to refill as well.
Just refill his hand as well.
But I think, yeah, if he
can as light to shuffle a card.
Sure.
But I did see he was looking at Topological Transbania Dragon. So if he can get, I think the Nightmares are a fiend. So if he can
Transbania. But that's only, does it only return the set spells, or does all spells and traps your opponent controls?
All spells and traps on the field get banished.
Sure.
And burns for 500
for each of them.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a.
So what Michael's probably trying to get to now is a BA. Because he doesn't see a BA in his hand, but if he can special summon a BA for free, he can link away into Transbania.
And then that'd be excellent.
Get rid of that.
So they'll be getting rid of the diagram as well.
The diagram as well. Yes. Which means the Majesty Maidens won't have that 300 attack, also that extra line of defense because you'd have to kill them twice.
Yeah, certainly.
Diagram giving the double defense, which is pretty good nowadays. Obviously not resilient to being banished and stuff.
Yeah, but
Michael drawing there,
things have to die somehow. It can't be completely unaffected by them.
Well, you'd be surprised with Towers and what's that Ultimate Falcon running around.
Raid Raptor.
Ultimate Falcon.
I think I saw a copy somewhere here. No, it wasn't this deck list.
Probably not this deck list. It's probably one of the ultimate.
Oh, there's the edge.
The edge being played down and he drops it.
Because it's a free summon.
Oh no, he's going to the Unicorn. He's going to shuffle it straight back into the deck.
Okay,
so he links it away into the Unicorn, ditching the Farfar, so he's going to try and get rid of the one monster for the end phase. So Farfar, obviously being this one.
Yeah, sure. What is it, the Farfar's effect?
Target a monster on the field and banish it until the end phase.
Okay, sure.
So he's just getting rid of it. He's going to try and see if he can maybe break through the OTK, because one monster, you just halve its attack.
What's the size of the Unicorn?
Unicorn is 2.5 if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I don't think it's able to... this is a 2300? It's
2600.
26, the diagram is on the table.
And obviously the double defense, so he cannot get over it yet. But we'll see. I believe he's probably going to try and climb that because rivalry's now gone, so those dangers are not completely live. If he just resolves one of them.
Yeah, he has a way to link up into something bigger. Maybe either get rid of the diagram or hit over the Majesty.
So here's
Jackalope
shuffling the hands to randomly pick. Obviously, 3 cards.
How many cards
in hand do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep,
there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Card number 6.
Wow!
Wow!
A special from the deck. He's probably going to special the Snake, just to get to Dante.
What a card! That's just damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you think about it, if he discarded the Snake,
does he have something but Jackalopes? I don't think he has a target in the deck.
A target. He used all his. No way.
The Second's Light could have actually shuffled something useful back there.
He does not play a big enough danger engine.
No, he's just getting punished for not being aware what is in his deck.
Fair to think now.
What did he shuffle back with the Second's Light?
He shuffled back the Psychic, the new Psychic healer thing that just shuffles if you got control Psychic back into the deck to draw a BA. However, he was able to out the one Majesty Maiden, but
okay, fair enough.
So he's going to use the
Okay, let's try that again.
He's going to probably go into he can't go into a Borrow Sword, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Maybe just try and get that draw card. So one ditches the Psychic, so the Snake hits the board and he draws one card for it. I cannot see what he drew.
Oh goodness, being punished for not keeping track of what's in your deck.
And the opponent gets to see the deck as well, which was a big
good amount of information for Yarick, and this is only game 1, so his sideboard decision is obviously going to be
change
much better now.
But just knowing what he plays in the main deck and what he could potentially side out is a big
just an advantage for Yarick now, because he can see, okay, this is my opponent's configuration.
I can see what's going to be in the main deck. Probably what's going to be sided out in Michael's case is those Sekka's Lights. Obviously you're going to have to deal with that back row. As you can see, the 2 rivalries crippling him, slowing him to this kind of game state.
Yeah, it was quite a crawl.
Because Michael's opening hand was actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie, he probably could have gotten to a Beatrice and maybe...
Yeah, had that rivalry not been flipped. I mean, the anti-spell fragrance wasn't too much of a problem, just Rivalry of the Water.
It was the Rivalry of the Water, but Yarick's obviously going to side out the anti-spell. But he might consider keeping it in now, considering Twin Twisters might be a threat for him next game.
Yeah, sure. It's something to think about. I do see 3 Twisters in Michael's sideboard, so that's definitely something he'd bring in.
I'm just trying to see, I'm seeing Imperial Iron Wall, Unending Nightmare, Skill Drain might be, it's in his side deck, oddly enough. So Skill Drain might be put into his main deck, and then I do not know what that is by any chance.
Summon limit?
Summon limits. That might be a big deal.
I think you can only summon one type of monster, or you can either only special summon or normal summon. But we can double check now.
Yeah, just double check there. I think summon limit just says two summons a turn. Obviously being a really... Oh, they're going to the game.
Okay.
I think Yarick took game 1. They're going straight into the side deck there now. Okay, so
Michael not interested in doing this anymore.
no
Majesty Maiden just doing...
So Yarick takes game 1. Obviously hard life point reset.
Okay, let's just have a quick read on summon limit.
Summon limit saying each player can only summon 2 times per turn. Yes, and that includes normal summon or whatever. And even if they set a card, that still counts as a summon.
Oh yeah, sure. It is. Is it? Does it?
I think
it's a set. Does it count as a summon?
It's a type of summoning, so I assume it does count.
Sure.
Because I can't remember, there was like this thing where you can even flip it after your opponent summoned twice, and then they still can't summon for the rest of the turn because they still summoned twice for the turn. As we see, some of the players have really cleared out as their game probably just got OTK'd or FTK'd.
Yeah, we got a
that first
few guys still hanging around. I don't think we've had enough to fill that section.
Okay, it's not too bad then.
So there's about 30 players. This is capacity. Might have been 1 or 2.
Coming in here if they're wanting to trade. Know them by any chance? Maybe Magic players? Probably not.
Nah.
As we see our floor judge, Chris, just patrolling, making sure no one's cheating. Yeah, his hands being shook out here, so they just want to try it and see what the tournament's like. Oh, so the side options here now.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a bit.
What would you put in against?
Let's just have a look. Michael James, 3 Majesty's Fiend, 3 Gammas, and the Git Driver, obviously. A Card Destruction, 1 Kaiju Slumber, 3 Twisters, and 3 Red Reboots. These reboots?
Reboots might be an option, but just,
if he's going first, I'm assuming he'd be choosing to go first this time around.
Going first this time around, seeing as Michael took the loss. Anti-spell, obviously.
Yeah, well, he's definitely bringing in the Twin Twisters.
He's definitely bringing the Twin Twisters, but he has to obviously also be careful that if he does pop the cards, he's going to get a pop back on his own. So he has to play very smartly, which I do expect Michael to play really well, and not just reset the life points there for them.
Excellent.
I don't know if I'm going to give them the score counter as well, like who's got the winner.
We can update that afterwards, but I think for now this is fine.
Reset everything, a blank slate reset. Again.
Game 2, 1 game to Yarick, so Michael a little bit on the back foot here.
But he does get to go first, but I don't necessarily know if Danger BA want to go first.
Yeah, I don't know if this is... It doesn't seem like there's much he can set up to be, disruptive.
Is still being an annoying card in general.
Yeah,
but
it's a good card.
Snow, that it doesn't help. There's no point in having a Beatrice milling something relevant. Because with the Orbital Highlander and Snow being able to control your graveyard and then popping a card as well, it hurts Danger BA severely. However, he's playing the Gallus build, so if he really wants to go that route, he can play for time and try and burn him in time.
Oh goodness!
I like how Michael even in the deck list put the exclamation question marks for the for the danger cards.
Some of them, because we're not sure. Is it a danger?
Is it a danger?
I don't
know. So he only plays 6 only there. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Only 6 of
Yarick sideboard, pretty standard.
I think the summon limit might get dropped in. Maybe taken out. But obviously he'd probably expect the spells now be taken out. So Seika's like probably going out.
Michael definitely going first though. Would the summon limit come in? I mean, it's very effective. It stops them from making any sort of overlay or link. Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, later in the game it might be effective, but really breaking that first turn, because he's probably gonna like try and race out a Dante here, just get it as fast as possible to start that engine.
Yarick going first.
Like I said, Michael deciding to go second.
But a red reboot being flashed in the hand there.
Yeah.
So if a rivalry does get dropped on the board,
he's got something for it. He's got something for it.
Making sure that rivalry does not, in any sense, annoy him again and costing him round 1 at least in this case. I'm trying to see as well there. I think the Destrudo's in his hand. Is there a Destrudo in the extra?
Yes, he's playing a Destrudo.
Destrudo being in hand, not the most favorable.
He's playing 3 main deck. Yeah, the guy really wants his synchros.
But he has to be careful now if he wants to half his life points against.
Oh yeah, just 1 or 2 hits, and it'll be over.
Pretty much. But Prankotop's being there as well. Okay, so
Prankotop's
excellent monster. Hardcore just to make sure that rivalry doesn't hit him again.
Just getting that back row.
Heritage being there just to draw cards that just got sent from off the field. Any true Draco cards, they just get sent off the field. Just draw a card for the amount that got sent. Such a dumb card if you think about it. Obviously tribute something in his Heritage just to get the Majesty Maiden. Card demising as well. He's going digging deep into his deck.
Draw some cards.
and then ditching the hand in the end phase, obviously. No Imano Iwatos. Obviously, Imano Iwato could probably cripple
yeah,
Marco as well.
definitely. So terraforming, probably for another diagram?
Maybe a diagram. I'm just trying to see. It looks like he's got a Stormfort there in hand. He's putting a Stormfort on the top of the deck.
Ugh, Stormfort.
Stormfort just being able to tribute any problem card. So if he does get the Prankatops, he can tribute it off before Prankatops can even resolve his effect.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. He gets the domain.
Domain, okay.
He's getting the domain instead. He's gonna make sure no extra deck.
Keep you out of that extra deck. Yep. This is the plan.
This is the plan. He's gonna set the tribute summon. So if you control a tribute summon card, no extra deck for you, pretty much.
Yeah, and he did. I mean, he tributed that.
Yeah,
so.
he tribute summoned the Majesty Maiden, and if a tribute summon card was to attack, it just gains 800 attack.
That's
in damage calculations.
Pretty good board. Pretty good. So yeah, a little difficult to respond to because it's just
and he gets the Dino Fighter as well, which means True Draco's True King's Return is going to hit the board as well, probably as soon as Micro activates an effect. So he's going to get a search and a set of the trap. So he probably can summon that monster in the same turn, which means he might summon the Ignis Heat, getting the trio out on the field. Might be an interesting play. Because the Dino Fighter getting the trap straight to the trap zone. So Prankatops being summoned straight out the gate.
Sure, we're gonna pop something. Is it large enough to crash through anything there?
Damage calc, you have to keep in mind those.
Oh sure, plus 800. There's tribute summon monsters on the battlefield. So Michael's gonna have trouble attacking through. Okay, just
using
pop that Dynamite's effect because you activated an effect.
Yes, you activated an effect.
We're gonna get a trap.
Only once per turn you can activate either or effect. So you can't use Majesty Maiden just yet. Because you activate the Apocalypse to half of the attack, and obviously the main's gonna drop the board, so he can just keep that extra deck going. So I see a Jackalope, but a Destrudo, he's choosing between the two.
Yes, he can use either of them. The Destrudo ending up in the graveyard is not going to be too much of an issue, obviously, nobody cares. Yeah, so that would be ideal for him here.
Pretty much. It'd be interesting to see if he plays that Crystal Wing. But I don't know where he'd get the level 1. He can play Clear Wing. If you really want to play that, I don't think he plays Clear Wing. You could check his. I don't think he would. I think
Destrudo makes a 7, correct?
Pretty much. Jackalope makes a 7. Or would it make a 7? I don't
see Clear Wing.
No Clear Wing. Oh, it makes Yazi Evil the Yang Zing to pop a card.
Okay, sure.
I think that's the one because Yazi, you target a Yang Zing on the field, and you target a card on your opponent's side, you pop them both. So
yes, like a Scrap Dragon for Yang Zings.
Kind of a Scrap Dragon effect. Obviously, if he had a Yang Zing in his deck, he could even summon a Yang Zing off that effect. So Yang Zings, as you all know, when they die, they float. As simple as that.
I'm just trying to. He's really thinking about this.
The thing is,
I'm not sure what is that. What is that?
Apocalypse half the attack damage calc, so he's making sure he's not
all monsters or things that aren't tribute summoned.
No, everything.
Okay,
except
sure.
I think everything on your opponent's side at least. So he's deciding if he wants to red reboot it, I assume.
I think he really needs to save that for something more crippling.
That's really scary, but he's not getting over these cards.
Okay, Jackalope reveal, just normal summon Jackalope. He wants to guarantee to get the Synchro 7. Okay, so he's on 4,000 life points. The cost has been paid.
Obviously, Majesty Maiden also triggering now. So 4,000 life off of Michael because he uses Destrudo.
Majesty Maiden triggers. We're gonna search for a spell. Monster.
And then obviously if Apocalypse drops the Ignis Heat, I believe, I have no clue. I think it just says True Draco can't be targeted. I think that's what it says, but I might be...
Steal. Does it resolve?
Does it resolve?
And it does. Yarick says that's fine.
Yeah, Yarick says that Destrudo goes through.
So, Destrudo's a 4, I believe.
And Judge just talking to them there, just probably telling them time with the looks of things, if I'm looking correctly over there. Oh, wait.
I think Yarick's just asking about whether he can, he's got a window to respond just after the Destrudo's been summoned, so on the summon, but after the effect is resolved.
He's just asking.
So far we've just been checking in, which is fine. But I wasn't sure, like, if I should
trying to listen now. Oh, I think Yarick wants to get rid of the Apocalypse so he can pop a card in his opponent's side of the field. So
he's just looking for where the chain starts.
Yeah, because he can tribute summon during his opponent's turn with all the spell and traps being a thing. So he tribute summon, and then he uses the spell trap to Destrudo pop.
So he hit the Destrudo, and because of effect, because of Destrudo's effect, it sends itself to the bottom of the deck. And that's very painful for Michael. He's goodness, I think he's all out of gas here.
I can't see what else is in his hand.
I'm not certain what he's just set.
I think it's the red reboot.
But I don't know if he's got. Yeah, it does have a Nessie and a White Dragon Wyver Buster.
Yeah.
The Nessie's probably the Yeah, only way he's got to do anything.
I think it was to set the red reboot and have Nessie
triggers again. Search for a spell.
Search for a spell. Okay, so Ignis Heat gets the spell whenever an effect gets activated.
This is so silly.
It's just every time Michael wants to do anything, he's just giving.
Well, that's the
advantage.
unholy trifecta, you know. Do something, search for a spell. Do something, search for a trap. Do something, search for a monster.
And the thing is, Michael can't play too many traps either, because if he sets them or sets floodgates, he can't summon his BAs.
Yeah,
which is an issue. So he has to play cards that are like.
I forget they have that clause. If you control no spells or traps, or if you control a monster that isn't a BA monster. This is a very fine line Michael walks with his deck.
A very fine line. Obviously, not being able to play like almost most cards that make decks like even viable.
Really careful decisions he has to make.
So Nessie dropping on the board.
I don't think he actually set the red reboot. No, he was considering it, but it's still just hanging out in his hand.
He was lucky there though that it didn't get discarded off of the thing. So Wyvern Buster did get discarded. However, there's
Wyvern Buster, level 4 dragon, light. Oh, you search for the Collapse Serpent.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. It's just a way to banish things from the graveyard, I think.
But off Nessie, he drew Fiend Rhino, but he did normal summon, so that's now a dead card, unfortunately. So he can discard it, which means he then gets a free Fiend Mole. Probably mulling a Graph or a Libic or something.
How is he going to get that into his graveyard?
That's what I want to know as well.
Yeah.
It looks like he wants to link away
now.
Link, probably going to a Phoenix. Just to... Oh, no.
I don't think that's going to do much for him.
Not going to do much.
I mean, Yarick's board is frightening.
It's disgustingly scary.
The Draco effects are once per turn?
Yes.
Okay, sure. And he's done all of them. He's added a spell, added a trap, added a monster. Let's pop that over there.
It pops the Demise.
Okay.
It's not going to bother too much.
I don't think Yarick's too concerned. He's got plenty of card advantage effects on board already.
He's probably going to send a Scam just so he gets next turn Tour Guide, which is pretty obviously good.
Assuming he's going to live for that long. He's only got 4,000 life points, and I mean, all of the monsters on the field are in excess of 2,000 attack.
Easy. So not even Phoenix is going to run over one of them to even help him to sustain that board. Obviously, all the effects of the True Dracos have been used now at least. So.
Yep.
Which is nice for Michael, but there's still one looming back row, which we have no clue what it is.
Oh, on Yarick's side.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's probably just going to be, it's probably just a spell. Yarick's
just something to make Michael think a little more.
Think of it. And he knows he can't target them either because of Ignis Heat, I believe. Might be mistaken on that though. I think Ignis Heat says you cannot target.
Oh, we'll get confirmation.
Just confirmation.
Just a second.
Just making sure that as we're waiting for Michael to make a decision. Draco Warrior, yeah. Michael seems to have made up his mind.
That's a Scum, yeah.
Once concerned, tribute summoned, True Draco add a spell activated.
Yeah, it has no effects when the back row is popped. It's just the one that adds the spells.
Okay, just the spell search. Okay, never mind then. I know one of them somewhere says that you cannot target.
Okay, so he sent a Scum.
He sent a Scum like I assumed. And then obviously.
What is there for him to do in this situation? I'm not really certain.
So obviously
that's one thing. It's just the amount of attack.
Again, even more.
Yeah, I mean it's probably much of a muchness at this point. The 4,000 life points is as good as dead if Yarick does get another battle phase.
And the thing is, the Disciple's coming now to shuffle 3 True Draco cards straight back into the deck, making it consistent, just making sure that...
Yeah, and he's got a bunch of ways to search those things out, so...
And then he draws a card again, so he just essentially went like a 1-for-1, and he recycled stuff which he wants, because, I mean, they dead in the deck, graveyard, so... so he's still got 2 cards. Never losing advantage, keeping up. So the Demise didn't even phase him.
Yeah.
The Demise was getting
just
sent.
Because he's got so many card advantage effects on board anyway.
And then he's going into battle.
Yeah. Oh, this is a massive amount of damage.
He's going to attack into the Phoenix. I think Dino Fighter.
I'm not certain what the life totals are here. Okay, and the Phoenix is 19?
1-9, yeah, 1-9.
Okay.
So
we've taken 600 off here?
Yeah, 200. 600, sorry. Minus 1-9. Yeah, 600 he takes. And then he also takes 2-3, and Ignis, I think, is... I think that might be game. Yeah, that's game.
Yeah, I think it definitely is.
Yeah, I think that's game, actually. Yarick taking game there. So Yarick, True Draco's taking 2-1 against Danger BA.
I don't think it was 2-1. That was just a straight 2-0.
Sorry.
Yarick won two games in a row.
Yeah, 2 games in a row, straight after each other. Just no one expecting the True Dracos to make a comeback here.
Yeah, that's the match look.
A very feared Danger deck, just...
Yeah, Stormforth obviously making the deck a bit more popular, but we didn't actually see any copies of it there. But
we didn't even need Stormforth, just
making the deck viable again.
Rivalry, just making the deck meta.
I think it's just a case of rivalry definitely having a good amount of these effects in the deck.
Yeah.
Whereas previously, there might have been a bit of inconsistency because you couldn't have like a critical mass of that sort of effect. Even though he didn't draw them, this deck being...
It's interesting to know that Yarick still won game 1, even though he bricked. He didn't see a single monster.
No monsters, only 2, then the two Majesties came out and that seemed to win him the game. Okay, well, we'll see you guys again for round 2, and hopefully we have the patchy feed fixed up. Cheers.